The Neon lineup is Atomos' latest generation of on-set studio reference monitors, effectively replacing their Sumo 19. Now these have been in development for a while, with them first announcing them as a lineup of 4 monitors back in 2019. Fast forward to now, to 2021, and they're finally here, or at least the smaller two are, the 17-inch and the 24-inch. Now both are HDR reference monitors aimed at DITs, Video Village, post-production and grading suites, letting you take one trusted monitor the whole way through the process. Now the two sizes don't have equal displays. We have the 24-inch model here, which is a DCI 4K true 10-bit panel with a 178-degree viewing angle. It will go to a peak brightness of 1200 nits across 512 local dimming zones. In comparison, the 17-inch version is a 1080p panel, which is 8-bit plus 2 FRC in order to achieve 10-bit. So better than the usual 8-bit panels, but not quite the true 10-bit display of the 24-inch. It still has 178-degree viewing angle though, and 1200 nits peak brightness, but this time over 128 local dimming zones rather than the 512 on the bigger brother. So it's still a great monitor, but it's not quite at the same level as this 24-inch, which is a big step up in display quality from anything else Atomos do. If you can afford the price difference, the larger one will definitely be the better choice. So we put the Neon side by side here in our showroom with our Sony PVM X2400 and our Swit BM U243, and it looks great. This is a huge variety of price ranges here, remember. The Swit costs just over half the price of the Neon, and then the Sony costs nearly twice as much as it. But all 3 monitors, to be honest, look pretty fantastic. The Atomos does jump out though as being the most appealing image of the lot. However, when you dig a little deeper with color charts, the Sony definitely has more dynamic range control and a more uniform illumination. But we asked several members of staff which they thought looked the best with just a normal image on the screen, and pretty much all of them said the Neon. So it is definitely an impressive image. The Neons aren't just monitors either. Atomos have included their full recording functionality as well, which gives them a whole load of extra uses on set. Imagine a larger set with one of these for each department. They're then going to be able to record natively and play back whenever they want. Continuity can run their checks without interfering with anyone else. The DIT can grab clips and use them to build quick grades on set before being handed the final footage. There's so many different uses for having recording functionality inside a production monitor like this. All of this recording, as well as all of the in and out ports and the actual processing, is housed inside this little unit on the back, which looks very much like an Atomos Ninja 5. You slot this onto the back, and then you have an SDI module as well that you can slot on if you want to, just like on the Ninja 5. It's the same system basically. This modular approach has some pros and some cons, of course. It does make it all slightly more fiddly, which is never a good thing in my opinion. But it does mean that the Neons will be quite future-proofed as a result. As for Atomos to add a new faster processor to unlock new frame rates, for example, new ports, pretty much any new feature beyond the actual screen itself, all they have to do is swap out this controller module, not the whole product. The other side of this modular approach is the control options. The Neons aren't a touchscreen like most other Atomos products or their previous production monitor, the Sumo 19. There's no physical buttons on the Neon itself either, apart from the power button here on the back. Instead, your main way of controlling the monitor is via an app. This gives you full control over everything from your inputs to your color space and your overlays and monitoring tools. Plus full control over your playback with a file list browser as well, so that you can choose the clip you want to watch back rather than just skipping through all of them to find the right one. It works well, and for changing lots of complex settings, it is a much easier way of doing things than a traditional monitor menu with knobs and dials. Where it is less convenient though, is just quickly toggling something like your overlays or your waveform or a lookup table, just toggling it on and off. For that, Atomos have introduced this physical button bar, which is an optional extra. This connects over a LANC port and gives you big rubber tactile buttons for quickly changing settings like your overlays or your monitoring tools, and you do get a surprising amount of control over all of the different settings for each tool. Plus it can also toggle recording and control the playback mode. I'd expect this button bar to be a fairly essential accessory for most people, as having to get your phone or an iPad out for every quick little settings change does get quite tiresome. But this can't navigate the full settings. I would love to see Atomos bring up a full menu with this somehow, no matter how you do it, maybe it's holding the menu button, anything like that. It would just be good for it to be able to do everything that the app can also do, so that you give the users the choice and they can pick whichever way works best for them in the moment. Overall, the Neons are an interesting product. Without a doubt, this is the best display that Atomos have ever made, and it's in a price category that Atomos have never really sat in before. This is a serious monitor for serious sets, perfect for DIT work and mid-level grading suites. But what do you think? Let us know in the comment section down below, and if you want to buy an Atomos Neon for your own work, head over to proav.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.